had a film called Rowanda. I want to make sure I'm saying that. Rowanda.
That's close enough. Yes, Kenya, Rowanda.
Rowanda.
People say Kenya, Rwanda. Both are good.
Rwanda. But it was filmed in Rwanda, and it won major awards at Sundance, and it was based on a true story. So tell us about your role.
Kenya, Rwanda is a beautiful movie. Kenya, Rwanda is the language that the Rwandan people speak. That's their natural language. And the movie is one of those movies, sort of like Crash meets a Pedro Almodovar movie, where the storyline is sort of out of order, and slowly each scene you start to understand what the past scene was about. And it was basically my character is Lieutenant Rose, loosely based off of a woman there named Rose Kabuye, who is known as one of the leaders of the Rwandan Patriotic Front that helped end the genocide. She's sort of seen as like a Martin Luther King figure there. She's very honored and respected there. So you sort of see what it was like for a woman to end a war and be the leader of a military. And then you see a love story in the movie. You see another love story between a husband and wife and how they're going through life. So the movie's really about how does life exist in the midst of a war.
Nice.
And this movie does it in such a beautiful, poetic, love-being sort of way. To me, it looks like Steven Spielberg's idea of a Hotel Rwanda, because there's no blood. It's really just the love story that happens and how people get through.
And your accent, everything was so authentic. I mean, what did you do to train? And were you the only American, or one of the only Americans on the film?
Yeah, I was. Myself and Kenna Anat, I believe is how you say his name. He played my soldier, Lieutenant Fred, in the movie. But basically, I was really lucky too. I could have either stayed in a hotel or stayed with a Rwandan family. So I chose a family, and they brought me in. I had a mother, a father, 2 brothers, and a sister, and they took care of me. And I'd go over my lines with them every day. But I also started to learn Kenya Rwandan. And that's basically how I learned the accent. And also the casting director, he was wonderful, Simon. And he actually worked on Last King of Scotland.
What did being there and filming there, did that change your global perspective at all, particularly on, women's issues, or, was there anything you really discovered about yourself from being there and filming there?
A couple of things I learned. The biggest thing is, it made me understand what privilege is. And we sort of take for granted what privilege is in this country. Just the privilege to walk up the street to a great library, the privilege of having great electricity, and knowing that running water will come out. That's all privilege. And the other thing that I realized was the privilege of artistry, and sort of the inspiring and transformative effects that great art can do to people. So the people who worked on the film, that was the first time many of them got to work in such a big way, whether it was behind the camera, whether it was them making the costumes or the set design. And that was very empowering for those people, because a lot of big movies do not come to Rwanda. Hotel Rwanda was not shot in Rwanda, for goodness sakes. And also, when I was there, I got to work with the Peace Corps through a great group there called GLOW, Girls Leading Our World, where I used arts to help empower girls. And most of them were orphans from the genocide, but to see these girls take on the arts and basically be transformed, it was life-changing. And so then I started my own nonprofit called the Cassandra Arts Project.
Nice.
Yeah, and then a few years later now, one of those girls who I taught there is now a student at Fordham University, where I'm also a teacher.
Tell us about the Cassandra Arts Project.
We started in Rwanda, Africa, and we went there a few times. And we go there, and both times I worked with the Peace Corps to work with these girls in Camp GLOW. And then the next time I came back, I worked with an initiative that works with women in Changugu, which is on the border of the Congo, women who are sex workers, most women with HIV and AIDS, but who are looking for a new form of work. So I was there to basically help teach leadership and teamwork abilities.
You have a passion for the arts, but not only that, you reach back to help others who also want to be in the arts as well.
Yeah, I think it's great if you're able to use your words to educate people, but I find that if you teach activities for people to actually embody it, the lesson is learned much deeper.
You're also in the film Blue Caprice. You're co-starring with Isaiah Washington. It's based on the DC Sniper story.
Yeah, it's inspired by the DC Sniper.
Inspired, not based on.
It's not based on, it's inspired.
Inspired by.
Right, and Alexander Morris is the director.
Okay.
Brilliant, beautiful. It was really great to be on that movie, and I'm so happy the response that people have really had with this film project. And and it's still traveling the country, so hopefully more people. And I think you can see it on iTunes now even.
Oh wow, okay.
It's amazing what distribution does now. Right, yeah, and then we were even, our opening here was actually at MoMA, and that was a great honor too.
And not only, this is not only your only work with Isaiah Washington, you're doing something else with him, right?
Yes, we're working on a new project. It's a love story, it's an untitled love story, and it's beautiful. It's loosely based off of a movie, Sidney Poitier, that he actually directed years ago called A Warm December
Okay.
meets charade, meets The Constant Gardener. It's a thriller, but it's a love story, and a lot of it takes place in Africa as well.
Oh, really?
So it'll be DC, it'll probably be London, and definitely in Africa as
So
well.
have you already begun shooting?
No, we're still in pre-production mode right now.
Okay.